Yo, what up, gang? I see you out there. I just want to make a quick video, go over a topic that seems to get skipped over by all the breeders, and that is the environment and the food that we feed our dogs. And will that dictate the way your dog turn out? This is a very important topic that we need to go over, um, especially for the general public and for everybody that looks to purchase a puppy and they look on the internet and different YouTube and different podcasts to see what's best for them. This is a topic that the breeders usually tend to skip over because they are showing or they are highlighting their very best points and they never tell you the lows. Well, we're going to go over that. Yo. So a lot of people like to highlight their style of dog. They like to highlight that they feed raw, um, highlight that they have very energetic dogs and working dogs, such of that nature. All that's good and well, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, all of that stuff is good and well. But basically what they're not telling you is every program is not fit to be the program for you. And they just want the sale of the dog. And a lot of times they are not concerned about where the dog will end up. And if you get a dog that has been raised outside, the mom and dad is outside, all the other dogs are outside. Basically, it's an outside kennel setup that comes with a different perspective than a dog that's raised in the home. Some breeders that have home dogs, and you'll see them whelping their puppies in the living room. So those dogs' temperament will be very much different than the dogs that are raised outside in the kennels. And all the DNA and all that technical talk is true when it comes to the evolution of what the dog will be. Because if you start off in a kennel because your mom and dad was there, then more than likely you're going to have kennel behavior. So if you are watching a program and the dogs are raised outside and you are choosing to get a puppy from these good old folks, but you want to keep your dog in the inside, well, you may have behavior problems because the dog instinctively has been raised outside. The parents have been raised outside all their lives. So their mitochondrial DNA and all that good language, all that stuff is passed on to the puppies. And if you have dogs from the inside that are housebroken and trained and well behaved, a lot of the times those puppies will expect to be in a controlled temperature. If you put an inside dog outside, you will see the pain. You will see it shiver and shake quick because haven't been adapted to those outside weather. So where you get your dog from, the food that they feed, the environment, all that plays a very big part in your puppy growing up into an adult dog. All the behaviors, all that stuff will come from the way that that dog was born into the world. This is a very important topic that breeders don't tend to tell you because a lot of the times it doesn't matter what kind of yard that they're selling the people their puppies to. But that's a question that needs to be asked. Will your dog be outside or will your dog be in the inside? And did you follow my program because you tend to have a kennel? Or did you follow my program because you tend to have a pet dog? That is a very important question that needs to be answered before you purchase your dog. And if you get a puppy that has started off eating raw, and you take this puppy and you start to feed it regular dog food, when the parents, grandparents, and the person you got your dog from built their program off feeding their dogs raw, but yet you don't want to feed your dog raw, so you start feeding it dog food, well, that's going to be a big change to the system, although it can adapt eventually. But these are the things that you need to be concerned about when you are following podcasts or breeding programs, and what you tend to do or tend to want to do. You want to get the same dog food that the breeder is using. That will prevent you from skin issues. That will prevent you from ear infections and teeth problems. That will prevent you from a lot, because if you follow the basics and you stick to the plan that the breeder has, then you can have a successful puppy, because it's already been bred that way. Especially if you get a dog from a breeder that has been in the game for years, they tend to stick to a routine, and they don't mind sharing that information with you. If you're buying a puppy, you know, you will get that information. All you have to do is ask, and if you stick to that program, it'll save you a lot of vet visits. If they feeding raw, I would suggest you stick to whatever the breeder has been doing. So if you follow a breeder that feeds raw, you need to be prepared to have that money ready to feed your dog raw. Have that supply ready. Have that that chain, that system already in place, so that it won't be a big headache when it comes to feed, you know. So just stick to the plan, basically, and you should have a successful puppy. But if you do not ask these questions, and you want to change things around, you will run into problems. More than likely, you will run into skin issues, because the way the things have been going, that's the way the things should stay. You know, if it's not broke, why fix it?